do 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 do. Okay, cool. Let me post in announcements at everyone. We are streaming. Please. Okay. Gotta do all the social media. Hello, hello, anyone watching? We're doing some stuff. Okay. We are ready. Hello, Wendigo. My camera. There's my camera. Hello, Wendigo. We're gonna do some developer Q&A in a moment. We just blasted out all the social media stuff and hopefully get some people. We do have questions ready beforehand. I'm Judah, the main developer. Kaz, as you can see, is the dog. I don't think anyone's actually seen his face. I think I've only seen it once or twice. Kaz?
Yes.
There you are. Say hello to the camera.
You realize I don't have a camera, right?
Well, say hello to the guests.
Hello, guests. It's nice to meet you.
It's great. It's very great. I don't know where Twitch... Oh, there's the viewer count. It's been so long since I streamed. I haven't streamed in months, and I think since I last streamed, Twitch changed their whole stream manager layout, so I have no idea where anything is anymore. It's pretty great. Oh, I have an ad break button now? Raid channel. Clip that.
The ad break button immediately plays an ad if you play it.
So if I had to run, it's like ad break. Is it spammable?
Yeah, it's spammable as I understand it, but it's a bit of a dick move to do it.
Ah, that makes sense. Okay, so let's start with some of our questions we already have. So the first question I want to ask is how big will the world be? This was asked by Spino asked a few questions. Spino asked, I have a few questions about the world, what it's going to eventually be. How big will it be? Will the whole thing be custom made? Is there going to be a set map for everyone, or is it possible to implement a self-made map? So first, I want to answer the question to the size. Right now, I believe the total map area is going to be 24 by 24 kilometers. And that includes the main continent, the water surrounding it, and the big island to the south. And that's going to be most of them. And that's going to be most of the landmass. That is going to be a shared world with everyone on the server. And combined with that, there's also going to be instanced dungeons and other areas that you can kind of go off to. And those don't necessarily have to be shared because the way they're instanced, they're going to the Basseton Isles. They're going to be their own landmass that you could travel to. But there's also going to be like dreamscape areas and dungeons and other kind of like non-normal areas that you could do solo or with your group that are not necessarily shared. At least that's the plan. Kaz?
Yes.
Do you have anything to add? I know this
The
isn't your expertise, but yeah.
No, this is not my expertise about the thing.
Yeah. What do you think about the world? Do you think that's big enough, or is it too big?
If anything, 24 kilometers might be too small.
Too small. Well,
do we have a good layout of what the worlds actually should be size-wise?
I mean, technically it should be bigger, but the issue is if we make it too big, it's just going to be a lot of empty space traveling with nothing to do. So, if anything, we should make it smaller and more contained. But I don't want
to. That's reasonable in a way, but you also run into the situation of people being able to essentially run across the entire world in like 2 hours.
Yeah, that's fine. So,
which is fine, but
so yeah, I have a high res version of the map too, unless you have something even larger, because then I would definitely be impressed. This is responding to when to go.
I can see that.
Okay. So the issue is we don't filling out the world content wise is going to be probably our hardest thing. So to start, we would want everyone to start in Edenmire, where the comic is currently, and just fill that fill that densely with a bunch of activities. And then as we build out the rest of the world, you can go out and explore more and more. But the goal is you could probably run to both ends of the map in 2 hours, but that's if you don't do anything but run. But there should be plenty of interesting things to do in between those points. So yeah, it's like how massive the map is versus how full of stuff it is to do. And that's going to be a hard balance, and that's a hard balance for any open world game. But I'm trying to see where my actual map is. I've lost track of where I've actually set the size, so let me verify real quick that it is 24 kilometers. I think I've changed the size like twice, so it might actually be 36. Oh, and the other part of the question was will it be custom made? Yes, it's going to be custom made. Someone has to make it in 3D. Implement a self-made map. We're not going to do any like map modding support. Because of the nature of the 3D game.
I don't know if that's what he's asking.
Well, I think the possible to implement a self-made map. I think that they want like custom. They want to be able to make it themselves. Or Spino's asking if they would be able to do some map editing themselves or import something else.
Well, you might want to be able to do map editing yourself if they can build stuff in the wild.
Oh.
There's a lot going on there.
Hold on. I'm trying to send a link real quick. There we go. Uh, yes. Oh, yes. There will be. You'll be able to make custom buildings for the land you own. I would love to make a dungeon editor. To be fair, or if you can make your own little custom dungeon runs, but that's not planned at all.
I think that'd be like a submittable dungeon sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that would be really cool. But not planned. Okay. We got another question. Oh, it's your boy Fury asks, do you think the game will be extremely popular upon release? He gets a few comments whenever he makes a new TKO video, saying along the lines that this is a game. So one of our issues right now is outreach, or what is it called? Being known. So a lot of people don't know about the game. One of the reasons why we don't really reach out. We don't really, our marketing game is not that strong, so we don't really tell that many people. It'd be nice. It'd be nice if more and more people knew, and if the game's gonna be really popular. I think I said I don't. I hope it. Okay, I honestly, of course, I hope that it's gonna be super popular, but that would actually kind of scare me because I've been watching and playing Temtem, and just the amount of growth that they went through for their early access release would honestly scare me. So, but that's kind of my goal. So, I don't know. I don't know. I want popularity, but also it scares me.
You want the humble popularity.
The humble popularity.
Oh, yes, the one where it's not everyone knows you, but it's like, I've heard of this guy.
Yeah. I want the game to do good. I want the game to have a lot of players. I want people to enjoy their time in there. I want yeah, I just want the game to do good. I want people to enjoy it. Hi Mo, Rover. Wendigo, thank you for sending that. I believe it's the same map I have, but I will double check. I still haven't found my map.
Well, you've been sent a new map.
Yeah.
How good is that?
Kaz, what do you think about? Do you want people to know who you are? Do you want people to see your face eventually?
Eventually,
Yeah.
maybe.
I don't know. I think you should be like Toby Fox, or is it Yoko Taro, who never shows their
They
face?
both do that.
Yeah, you could be like that guy.
Yokota never really shows. There are images of his face, but he's usually wearing the Emil mask.
That's not
And
true. There's
Toby
no.
Fox has that. There's plenty of images of.
There's not. No, his face is unknown. Unknown.
I don't know.
Oh, and I need to. Yeah, we'll be reading through the messages here and on, Discord. So we'll get to it. Ghost Claw. What was I about to say? I need to adjust what I said about the world map size. It looks like I set it to 36 kilometers, which will give us plenty of playroom and might be a little too big, if anything, for our size. But a lot of that is water, so not all of that is technically area that you can walk, but it would be places that you can travel on boats with. So we might have like little islands out there. Next question we have. Let me see.
The crossplay question?
Crossplay. Xbox, PlayStation, crossplay. We want to do consoles, but that is not planned at the moment. We will have to see how well it does on the initial launch whenever we get there. And when we do get to consoles, we will want to do crossplay because we want to do one shared world, or if it's really popular, multiple shared servers where at least console and PC will be able to play together. But that also goes down to the console makers. They are opening up crossplay for a lot of games, but it's still not standard, so we're not sure there.
Yes, and they've also been very going back and forth about who's allowing it. Like Microsoft was all fine with it recently, then prior to that Sony was fine with it, but Microsoft wasn't, so it's all back and forth.
Yeah, but we want to do like the Final Fantasy 14 model where it's all the same servers, just
Mhm.
so that PC and the consoles can play with each other.
One of the biggest limitations we're going to run into, if anything, is going to be getting the dev hardware. Because not only do they have relatively high like requirements for, say, the Nintendo Switch or the PlayStation 4, but the hardware for that costs about $4,000 or $5,000 USD for a single kit.
Yeah, the dev
And it,
kits are pricey too, but we'll get there if we get to that point.
yes, in addition to that, Nintendo actually has very, very high quality standards for what they allow to be on their system. For things like the user manuals and all that, that has to be perfect or they won't allow it.
Okay, and this question was asked by Django Bob. So thank you, Django Bob, for an interesting question. Rauk asks, will there be more custom options when you create a character, like more outfits? Oh, and also hello Mip in the chat. Mip, we're streaming, yay! Thank you for coming in. Okay. Custom options, yes. We will want to do a lot more customization. So part of this is we're recreating the world of TwoKinds in video game form. So part of that is making your original characters in that world. So we'll want you to be able to pick how you look, tattoos for your Cadron and Bassadins, different fur patterns and colors, hairstyles, different. Different ear shapes is gonna be a big one. Ears, tails, patterns, tattoos, and that's just the character options. For the clothing options, we have a lot of things to draw from. So, what's slowing us down here is that we're not necessarily working on the customization yet. We're still working on the base game mechanics. Oh, you pronounce it Raunch? Raoq. Okay, good to know. Roke, Roke just said in Twitch chat how to pronounce it. I apparently I need to ask everyone. How do you? Oh, it's German. I need like a primer of how to pronounce everyone's names. So, anyways, Rock, Rock. Okay. So yes, there will be a lot. Ghost. I'll call him Ghost. Apparently. Oh, I am so easily distracted too. So don't. I'm gonna just go on so many tangents. Kaz, just rein me in every once in a while too, please.
That's assuming I don't get out of hand.
That's true. It's true. Okay. Customization. Yes, we want you to be able to customize your character's style. But the main reason why we haven't done a bunch of custom clothing yet is because it is expensive to have someone to model everything. So we're working on the mechanics right now before we get into the more interesting visual styles. More than just what Kaz and I can model. I could
Yes.
do some 3D modeling. Kaz can do some 3D modeling, but we're not the best at it.
You were not the best, as you may have noticed. There's a few instances where people's bodies are clipping through their clothes.
Oh yes, the body clipping. Okay, so yeah,
Speaking of clothes modeling, have you seen that clothes modeling software they have that they've
uh
used on like a few different games, like
what
The Witcher and that?
which one? Marvelous?
Yes, it's Marvelous Designer.
Yeah, marvelous. I
How much?
dabble. I dabble. I opened it up. I have no idea how to do it. I'm not a clothes designer. Uh,
I opened it up.
yeah, it's like it showed me how to stitch a shirt, and it's like, oh, you actually have to stitch it as if you were making a real shirt. And it was like, I was like, I can't do that.
I mean, a perpetual license for this is $490.
Yeah, I mean that's just software
That,
licensing. That's not
that's a
that
bit
bad actually.
tall, but that would work.
I mean, compared to like 3D modeling software like Maya, it's not. That's nothing.
We can't even afford Maya.
Well, we use Blender 3D. It's free. It's great.
Especially the new version 2.8.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. Blender and free software like Unity or Unreal. We use Unity. Are great for making video games. So if you ever want to get started, now's the time.
We have a question in chat,
Yes.
as well as one in Discord.
Yes. Let's finish the Discord ones real quick, and then we'll cover chat. Um.
Okay.
Oh, actually, Ghostclaw. So Gary's mod, that's all modding. We wouldn't be able to use those models. We wouldn't be able to use those models because they're all copyrighted. Pretty much, since we're making a full actual game.
I think he's saying they used it for Gmod.
Wait. You mean Marvelous
You,
Designer?
no, he's talking about I think Blender and stuff.
Blender. Oh yeah. Blender's great for making models.
But
For everything.
he's not talking about using the Gmod models.
I'm confused.
He
I've
said it
I've
was
had
used.
people ask me that before. It's like using models from other places.
Oh yeah, no, that's hella
Yeah. Yeah, no.
problem.
Yeah,
We
no.
get sued into the ground.
Yeah, it's copyright. Can't do that. Modeling's a skill, and we're working on other skills not related to it. So at some point we'll need more people to do it for us.
We've hired a number of people to do it before us, but usually we've had interesting results.
Yeah, we need funding.
Some are good, but very
Get more
expensive, and
people.
others have given us models that look like aliens.
Okay. You chair. Is that how?
Yushre.
How do you pronounce his name? I never
It,
remember. I'm really
I
bad
think
at
it's.
names.
I'm just gonna say it's Yushre.
You
Ukraine.
you cray. Okay.
Oh no.
Let me tell you a
We
story.
should just.
Let me tell you a story about my name pronunciation. I played off as a joke, but when I was playing Civ 5 with a bunch of friends, I was playing as Germany, and I pronounced Munich as Munich.
Oh no.
Munich. Welcome to
Oh.
Munich.
Oh no.
It was
We
great.
have a different pronunciation.
Ukir. Yeah, Munich. I want to go to Munich. I want to
Oh
go
no.
to Berlin. What other name can I butcher? Um, yeah.
Moscow.
Moscow. Moscow would be nice. London,
Canada.
Canada. Oh, yeah. No, I want to go to Canada land. Travel the world. Okay. Okay. Sidetrack. Now from Yuchir asks in Discord, will there be some sort of magic infusing minigame for weapons? Also, will be multiple types of magic. Um, yes and yes. So, there's gonna be some sort of alchemy that I think will kind of be part of that music infusing or
Oh no.
magic infusing. Where you're gonna be mixing potions and crystallizing stuff. I haven't figured that out. We haven't figured that out completely yet. Unless Kaz, you have some ideas for it.
I have absolutely nothing in my mind right now.
Okay. Nothing
I'll
at
take a
all.
look at it.
Is so if we like took a picture of your mind right now, it wouldn't even be a dog barking in there.
I will.
Okay, so yes, there is going to be some sort of magic infusing minigame. Um, there's going to be like a refining thing too for blacksmiths to improve the weapons. There's going to be temporary magic infusing so that you can make your sword on fire during combat, and then we could do more permanent attribute fixing, or among other things.
Speaking of blacksmithing, how's material gathering gonna work?
Which part?
Okay, let's say you're looking for metals and stuff. Where are you gonna go for that?
So I'm still thinking of doing the RuneScape approach, where there's designated areas that are just like full of ore, and then that's where you're gonna hang out for the day while you're getting your ore.
I feel that while that's fine for like a few ores, you might want to constrain a few ores to being in dungeons.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Just because
Yeah.
on the planet, there's things that are near the surface, all kinds of materials you can get. You can pan for gold. You can do other stuff. There's like bits of iron near riverbeds and all that, but there's more stuff underground.
That is true. That is true.
High risk, high reward.
We'll have to plan that. We'll definitely have to plan that. Yeah. So I was thinking more like the iron, some coal deposits, copper, tin. All that's gonna be super easy to find on the surface. While yeah, like we have adamantium or mithril that would be harder to find. Same with silver and gold. That like Kaz is saying, dungeon crawls. Golems would be fun too. Mo Rover just
Uh,
chimed in with
so, so,
golems.
so if we come back to the chat questions, we have the one from
Oh, multiple types of magic. Yes, there will be.
oh
Fire,
yeah,
water slash ice, electricity, wind. Those are the four planned right now. Dark, light. Don't use dark. Maybe a little bit of light. Anyways, okay. Let's switch to the Twitch chat.
yes, we have that question about the. I'll just read the question out for you. It's from that guy with the blue name, whose
Uh,
name I can't
our
pronounce.
colors are different.
Do you
Wendigo?
plan to have every dialogue in the game voice acted in the final release?
No. Mip. His name is Mip Attach or just Mip. Uh, no. We don't have a budget for that. So my plan is to have certain lines voice acted, and other lines just have like a little quip that's kind of along the same tone, but not the actual lines. The issue is we also want to do text translations. Oh no, we could have it all in English. We don't have to worry about that. I'm also This is also a brainstorming session for me too. So no, not every line is going to be voice acted, but we'll have some if a part of it is in a questioning tone, we could have like or whatever. I'm not a voice actor, so
Yes,
it'll be very good.
voice acting is especially like AAA grade voice acting. It's pretty expensive. Like if you look at say the Star Wars Online, where every single line is voice acted by like the most expensive voice actors they can find. Yeah, we can't afford anything remotely like that. And we also, at the same time, we don't want to go in the phase where we're doing shoestring voice acting, where we have someone who's on a microphone from 1998 trying to speak lines that sounds like a tin can. So it's a very fine balance.
We'll have a little bit of voice acting, just a little bit. Some, hopefully more, but a little. Okay. We had a question from Wendigo a little bit earlier. It was have you thought about breaking up the land into sections like ESO for performance reasons?
Or even like Final Fantasy 14.
Yes. So yeah, that is would be a lot easier. But in my initial designs, I was thinking big, so I was thinking fully open world. Cutting it into sections is probably the way that we'll want to go. Um, And I don't want to do that, but realistically we might have to. So we'll see.
On the flip side, we can get away with that with certain areas, like inside of woods.
Oh yeah, like you're entering the woods. Yeah. Also, I'm not a very good level designer, so just the initially creating an open world is like, okay, the boundaries are the sea. Here are some mountains. Just populate in between all the others, and then it's good. Where with proper level design, you'll actually be able to have a nice fixed area and then route between.
Okay.
It would also be easier to build the world in sections that way instead of doing it on all one big world because as we build out the world, if it was all fully open, we would have to figure out some like invisible barriers or something. I'm not
I've
entirely
seen
sure.
I've seen some games where that's not the case. It's not great.
Yeah, it's Mip. You're funny. Uh yes. Oh yeah, about the game. There are Ghost Claw also asks, will will there be many factions like Templar? Um will there be an option for you to start as a Templar or not? Yes, there will be factions. There will be Templar. Um I think I have a list on the website somewhere. Let me look real quick because I wrote it down and it's not in my head right now, so I gotta look it up. So we're planning a Templar. You would be able to join them at some point. Merchant Trade Association, so that for people that don't want to do as much combat. Kind of like a Royal Rangers, kind of Kingsguard thing for both humans, Cadron, Bassadins. Mages Guild that are more like the just a magic side for the Templar that are more Cadron focused. We want you to be able to play as bandits, so you'll be able to live outside the law, um, which, if we can do it right, is hopefully like you won't necessarily be griefing players too much, but you might be hunted by players or other. It should be an interesting experience. And there's also the you being able to be an assassin, so also kind of living outside the law, but also kind of obeying the law depending on who you're looking at. So we're kind of looking at like faction versus faction or kingdom versus kingdom, realm versus realm combat. I don't know what the correct term is for that.
War.
War. Yeah, we'll have war occasionally. Could build something. Reading the chat. Ghost Claw asks, "Will there be weather like rain?" Yes, there's actually weather right now.
I feel like you skipped a few things.
I probably did. Yes, we'll need people to help with translations. Yuchir asked about that.
Okay, so Moe Rover up here says maybe golems could drop very rare ores.
Yeah, that was part of our ore talking.
Yes,
Okay.
we're going very slowly through the chat here.
Yeah, we are.
So Mip did have a question, which
Yes.
I'll read out. I can't recall exactly, but I remember you mentioning that player buildings would have a major role in the world. Are you going to allow building pretty much everywhere, even the wilderness?
Not everywhere. Our plan is to make a ton of land plots so that you could get a building in the city to own and customize, or you could get like a wood cabin or build something out in the wilderness. It won't be like full sandbox where you place everywhere, but we're planning a lot of places.
Just on that note, I feel that on your earlier mention of being a bandit living outside the law, that
Yeah.
such player-made structures would be very important to those people,
Yes.
especially the ability to have them be still sort of out of the way.
Yeah. So yeah, since bandits are will be outside the regular law, um, you'll want to have like a bandit camp that you can still do city stuff in, but not like a full city. Also, we could do like raiding party camps. So if you're like humans invading the Cadron lands, there could be a human outpost out somewhere in the forest that can be used as the base of operations before attacking. Maybe make temporary structures is what Mo Rover asks or says. Yeah, we'll probably want to do like temporary camps. I didn't think too much about that, but that would make sense.
Another question from Millie Rover is, could you create your own guild?
Yes, you can make your own guild. Yes, that is currently working on the website, I believe, but it's only partially working because we're still making it. And it does show up in game right now. Currently, it takes 5 members to go from a provisional guild to a full guild, and at some point, we'll make all the steps work inside the game, so you don't have to do it through the website. Ghostclaw asks, ooh, an assassin? Like Zen and Antani? And yes, exactly. So, technically, the assassins are an official organization under each of the kingdoms. So, we'll probably want to do some sort of setup to allow political assassinations. But that could also lead to griefing if we're not careful. So we're still planning that. Okay, we're ready for more questions. Send us more. Unless Kaz, you want to keep chatting about any of the things that we were already discussing. Kaz?
I'm still here. I'm just thinking very slowly, very quietly.
You got to think out loud. We're on a call, remember?
Yes, I get that.
Just almost stream of conscious.
Okay, so here's a question for you. You mentioned provisional guilds.
Yes.
Explain that.
Okay, provisional guilds. So I want you to be able to. Okay, so it's part of the guild making process. How are you going to collect the 5 people to start your guild? I figured the easiest way to start now is to essentially sign up as like, I want to start a guild. You essentially get a scroll of paper.
So this is basically the guild charter from World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Essentially, you need a slip. You need your charter contract. You need 5. You need like your 5 joining members, your 5 signatures, and then it goes from a provisional to a fully established guild. And so if you don't finish the charter in like 24 hours, the guild automatically gets disbanded. But it allows us to track your guild setup.
Okay, we have a few more questions that have come in. I'll just start from the top.
Okay.
From Ukir, I can't pronounce this, of course. Will there be things like religion and politics?
A little bit of religion, more politics. This is your inner city politics. So you cure. It's you cure. I want some level of like city running by the players. So there's going to be a mayor or a council of elders that can set like shop tax rates so that they can fund city works like water fountains or walls or other public works like that. And yeah.
How civic minded.
Well,
assuming people are
I like building things. I want to provide a space for that. So we'll have city running. We probably want some regional governorship and lordship in that regard. These titles aren't inherited. They're all through some election process or next in line process if the person dies. And then that goes all the way up to king. So a player will be able to technically run the kingdom.
Okay, so there is another question from Millie Rover. Does every kingdom have their own Assassin's Guild, or will there be general sellswords allied to no one?
I'm assuming each kingdom will have their own kind of spy network, intrigue network. That's kind of the assassins. We might give them different names, or we might just have them all the same name under the assassins. I was thinking about mercenary groups, and I mean, technically players are already mercenaries. anyway, so I don't think we need like a full guild for that, other than like just a general fighters guild. Or fighters faction. Okay. Ghostclaw asks, one more thing. Will the player be able to choose between classes like mage, fighter, brute, etc.? Because not everyone can use magic. We won't necessarily have classes, but the race that you pick will kind of guide you to what your skill focus will be. So, Bassitans won't be able to use magic at all, so they will be more heavily fighters. So we're planning some specific fighter related skills there.
They would also make great other classes as well. For example, fighter, not god damn it, thieves, assassins, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do
So
have massive amounts of poison resistance.
yes, and magic resistance. So there is that too. Um. Oh yeah, Kadrian will be able to use magic, but they'll be more focused on like spies, assassins, speed related, and humans will be more magic focused. So they'll get probably the higher skilled or the higher skilled magic trees.
Okay. We also have another question from Ghost. He's asking if there will be a swear filter,
Yes.
so younger ones can play, or is it age restricted?
Yes. I want people to be able to play. If they are 13 or up, there will be a swear filter that will be toggleable.
So client-side swear filter.
Yeah, client side swear filter. Um, yeah, the default will be on, and I'm already losing my train of thought. Default will be on. You could turn it off. There. Oh, I did a phone call. Default will be on. You could turn it off. There will be cabbages.
Unfortunately, the issue with swear filters and that is that they're always bypassable. However, by putting in the option to have a client-side toggle, people will hopefully be less likely to deliberately try to bypass it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we might have to tie that into parental controls at some point. Oh, we got a question from Yukir. Will there be dragons like Nora? The short answer is yes. And this allows me to segue into another question that we had earlier that I forgot about from Discord. It was what are we gonna do about the main cast? How are we gonna follow the comic story? Um, let me explain some of my thoughts about what we're doing with it. So we have a very so there's the comic that is telling the story from those people's perspective, where we want to show the game, that we want to show the world from your characters or your perspective. And so you're not necessarily going to follow we're not going to be following necessarily the comic story, but you'll be able to interact at some point with those characters, especially in alt universe or dreamscape instances, where you might actually be able to play as the main characters to experience the story beats, or as we're doing different story campaigns, you'll be able to interact with like the battle on the Bassatin Isles or something. And also we are setting the game's timeline before the comic, so that we are way in the past, so we can reenact battles and destroy towns that are marked as ruins on the map currently. And then as we get up to the current timeline, we do like events leading up to that, and then at some point we'll be past the comic. So that's the idea. So, and one character that we will be able to introduce early on is Nora, since she's over 2,000 years old. So you'll be able to see young Nora or something. So that's my plan. Kaz,
Yes.
what do you think?
About this,
Yeah, give me your thoughts.
we're not the first. This isn't the first game that's tried to do something like that. Some that come to mind would be actually an arena game, Mech Warrior Online, where they wanted to do the whole slowly progress in the future thing. That didn't pan out for them. So I'm assuming in our case it's going to be a multiple sort of expansion dealio. Though I'm imagining it's not really going to be expansions, where we take slow steps forward.
Yeah, so the game's time will just continue forward on, but if we have to like skip a lot of years to get to whatever story point we're trying to, or like slow the time down, we'll might have to backstep something. It's gonna be weird. This is just what we're gonna try to do. We might end up just skipping directly to the current timeline, or we might just go past it and do just reenactments. It's we'll see what happens.
We do have a another question from Yukir.
Yes.
It's that oh, and pretty important for age restrictions. Will there be an in-game voice chat?
The plan is no voice game chat, just text. We figured most people won't want to chat with random people, won't want to voice chat with random people in the world. They'll more want to voice chat with their party or group. So we know a lot of people use Discord and other things. So we'll just let Discord handle that. That could change in the future depending on what we want to do, but for now there won't be any open voice chat with everyone. See you later, Ghost Claw. Thanks for all the
Okay.
questions. It's been good.
Okay, we have another question from Moe Rover. Maybe implement the story, but use gated quests to let everyone experience it at this any time.
We could do that. I'm not the greatest writer, and the comic is going to be telling the story the best, but being able to play as the characters is definitely something that would be pretty cool to do. So doing some sort of like story campaign for that would be pretty good. But it's still way in the planning phase.
Okay. Would you like another question?
Yes, hit me. Hit me with a question.
Okay, this is one that you have a personal close attachment to your heart. One that's very important to you, I'm sure. Yukira asks, will there be Easter eggs?
There will be a lot of Easter eggs. There will be all sorts of there should be all sorts of hidden things for you to find. There should be a lot of connections with the comics. So if you should be able to find some very obscure references from all the side art, or just the random things that happen in the comic. There should be a lot.
There's also all the events as well.
Yes.
The Easter events, the different events for
Oh,
different
yeah.
holidays.
There's gonna be a bunch of holiday events too, for you to get some special stuff. It's we want to pack a lot of the game with we want to pack the game with a lot of things, and a lot of little hidden things for fans of TwoKinds.
Okay, we have another question. Mip asks, you mentioned taxes, so are you going to have an ecosystem with NPCs before you let players in the game?
Yeah. So NPCs are gonna get the economy in the towns running, and then players are probably gonna replace them. Like there's gonna be an NPC king, NPC mayor, but players will be able to take those positions and then run it from there on. So the NPCs are going to be there for players to interact with a little, and then just to do the little things that players may not be necessarily doing. But yeah, they're gonna be there. They're gonna do things. Pick up any slack in case players are not doing it. Does that answer your question, Mip?
I assume that the bandits would not be paying taxes.
No, there's not gonna be any bandit taxes. It's gonna be like a anarchy
Clearly the
society.
highest of crimes.
No taxes. Uh,
Stop right there, criminal scum. You owe me 10 gold in taxes.
what Mip asks, what happens, for example, if a player king doesn't play for a week? So because they have such an important title, that would make them probably make them just missing because in-game week is like a year, almost a year. So if the king is missing for a year, they probably just get replaced.
I think this also depends on the support structure for the king, because the king doesn't do everything.
Yeah.
The king has aides, the king has assistants, regents, all that good stuff.
Yeah, there'll be people running something. And the king position might have high turnover anyways, because depending if we do it right or wrong, they'll get assassinated every time because someone might want to try taking their position.
What do you think will be the shortest time it takes for someone to be king and then be not king?
Um, I think we could get that time down to like 2 minutes.
Are you sure it's 2 minutes? I could guess 30 seconds right as someone's in coronation.
Crash the coronation. That would be messy. That would be great too. It would make a great story. Like, okay, or like if the king and everyone in the next line of succession is on the battlefield and they all get killed, um, it would be like, you're now king, 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 all the way down to like a governor or something on the other side of the map is finally king, and it's just like, whoops.
Nip
Uh,
says,
yeah,
better give the Kingsguard a raise.
yeah, yeah. Maybe you don't want all player Kingsguards. You gotta have some NPCs too. Um,
You're going to have some NPCs just because of the support structure of different factions. Like the recruiting officer for the Kingsguard is clearly going to be an NPC.
yes.
If only so you can just walk up and join.
Yeah, the ultimate goal is to be like, oh, say for like the Templar. At first it's all going to be NPCs being Templar, but at some point I want people to take the jobs of the Templar, including like the recruitment. So like your job during the day is to like recruit NPCs or players into the Templar, or it's like a training thing. So I want you to be able to get deep into like the role play for that.
Having someone do like actual recruitment is fine, but having them be the like only source of recruitment that's fine.
No, they
I
wouldn't be
feel
wouldn't be the only source, but it would be like the job for the day.
it's
Same
like
with
the job for the day,
yeah.
sir. It's like yes, sir. You're gonna be going and assassinating our opponents. You can go train people in the yard, and you get to clean the stables.
Stable boy. And yes, you gotta see, that's also part of the tax collection, is you want to actually be able to pay your Kingsguard so they don't turn on you for more money.
The Kingsguard should have a sense of morality.
I mean, there is the morality, but money buys that too.
Yes. If money can buy your Kingsguard, they probably shouldn't have been the Kingsguard in the first place. You should probably be better at selecting your Kingsguard.
That is very true. Very true. Okay. Do we have more questions, or did we miss any questions? Mip. Mip, give us more. Give us more questions. Just looking at my other screen. More questions. Kaz, do you have any questions?
I feel like I'm the last person you should ask for questions.
questions are good.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is blue. Followed maybe by orange.
What kind? You're just describing a Tide Pod.
They're complementary colors. What do you expect from me? They just go well together.
So back on the topic of guilds, is guilds going to be the only legal structure?
Legal structure?
Yes, because I mean, like you mentioned, there's player guilds, but there's also other structures in guilds. Because guilds are typically trade unions. Are you going to allow people to say that there's something other than a guild?
Technically, there's the factions, though, and those are like the official ones, like the Templar, the King's Guard. I closed the tab with the rest of them.
Oh no.
The Merchant Association. So I figure there's gonna be the factions that are those kind of global overarching groups, and then you can kind of align your personal or your players guild under either connected with those factions or away from those factions. So they're kind of like half faction, half their own organization. So maybe a town's governance is all controlled by a specific guild, or kind of more associated with the faction. Well,
Oh, so Mip came back and has another question.
yes.
So, the best way to search for some PvP would be to join assassins and whatnot.
Yeah. If you want some more like roguish, higher player population, player density town PvP, assassins would be probably the way to go. We're also thinking about doing the more PvP in the further into the wilderness areas. So the towns and roads are mostly safe. You're mostly just going to do PvE. But as you stray from like the normal paths, you can go explore and open yourself up for some more random PvP.
Okay. On note, assassins seem to be coming up a lot, so we should probably come back to that. But we have another question from Moe Rover.
Oh, one more thing I want to add. And if you do want to do PvP in town, there'll be some wars between the kingdoms, so you'll be able to invade and destroy stuff. Or you could just set your PvP flag to active in town, and just fight whoever has like red in their name, or whoever, like you could fight bandits that come to visit that want to just fight, I guess. Okay.
Should I read the question from Moe Rover?
Yes.
Moe Rover asks, back to buildings. Maybe lots could have a maintain time of maybe 3 to 6 months if it isn't at least visited in that time. The lot would be sold off, maybe auctioned off, and either the former owner would get the resources back on the lot, or everything could be sold to the next buyer.
Yes, maintenance time and maintenance costs are going to be a thing for the towns. Most are going to be a cost for the buildings. Towns are going to be hotspots, so if people are not visiting the game in a week, they pretty much lose their property rights, and everything they own in it will be packed away for them to collect later. But it allows someone else to buy that property for someone else that's actively playing.
I feel like the time of a week would be dependent on how many lots we have available as well.
Yes, if there's a ton of available lots in the town,
because because the one thing that's not being addressed here is the fact that people go on vacations.
Yes. Oh, so this is if they don't log in for a week.
Not everyone's some guy gets dragged off by his family to take a vacation in Bermuda. He doesn't have a computer. He can't log into the game for a week. Loses his house, loses his wife.
Well,
his kids abandon him.
He's not going to lose.
Gets fired from his king position.
They're not going to lose all their stuff, just their land rights. Um.
So I
Oh.
feel you should at least balance that against the amount of available plots,
Oh, and you should be.
and maybe give people the option to go into a vacation mode.
Yeah, there should also be. It should also be kind of based off of like if you can pay the tax for the property. Um. Like if you got no cash, essentially every in game or every week it's gonna cost you some upkeep money, and if you can't if you're not playing and you don't essentially pay your property tax or mortgage, it then just goes up for sale, and you lose your land.
Okay. Okay.
That
We
way
have
that way if someone doesn't log in for 2 weeks but is still an active player, they can keep their land.
okay. So we have another question from Mip. The question is, in death, what is inherited to the descendant? Are the descendants going to be treated as a new character? Meaning, for example, you have to add again people to the friends list, and you have to reapply for roles or skills. So I can quickly answer the one with the friends list. The friends list is actually global right now instead of per character.
Account based, yeah, not per character. Uh, so we're kind of doing semi permadeath. You don't have to reapply your guild. It's still still technically the same character, just your levels reset, and you get to change how you look if you want to. Change your name, how you look. But your level gets reset. But I think unless you're doing like some hardcore PvP, I think you get to keep your equipment. Um, you stay in your guild. If you have a elected title in like the city or some other position, like if you're the king, you lose that title because like you are technically not the same character, and that just passes on to someone else. Also, in combat, at least early on, you're not likely to necessarily die, but you will go unconscious. On most creatures aren't just going to outright kill you; they'll just knock you out for now.
They'll
But
just
once
beat the crap out of you.
yeah, but once you start getting out of the starter area, you'll be you're more likely to face death in combat. Does that does that answer your question, Mip? Also, do we have any more questions? I think Kaz and I are going to wrap this up real soon. We've been chatting for about an hour. I think this has been really good.
We do have another question
We do. Ooh.
from Mick. Will unconsciousness set you in a waiting timer, or you're getting teleported to a city?
Uh, you could probably teleport, but right now it just teleports you back. But it's going to be a waiting timer for you to regain consciousness, unless you have like poison. That's just that you need someone to heal you with. Poison's gonna be nasty. I can already see it. You could also have if you're with someone else, a party member will be able to stabilize you or heal you back to consciousness. So it's not going to be an instant teleportation. If you're out in the field by yourself, you get knocked unconscious. The whatever you were fighting goes away. You could either just wait it out or just teleport back to your last safe teleportation spot. That's going to be the goal. Okay, Kaz,
Yes.
what do you think? Should we do this monthly?
We could do this monthly.
I think we should do this monthly. Okay. If there's any more questions, we will answer them, but we shall be wrapping this up in a few seconds or in a few minutes. Um, we're gonna do this. We're planning to do this monthly. We will be doing it is this the second? We'll be trying to do it the second weekend of every month. So we should be planning for March 14th. Oh, maybe
Isn't
not.
that? Don't you have a wife?
Huh? Yeah, I do.
Exactly. Oh wait.
No, March 14th.
Oh no. I was thinking February. I'm terrible.
Mip, bother us. Give us another. Give us another question. No, Valentine's Day is next week.
Wait.
Mip forgot. He had another question, but
Okay.
he forgot. It's okay,
Okay.
Mip.
I do have one question for you.
Uh-oh. Hit me.
The job of an assassin seems quite popular to the people that have been here today, but it also sounds like quite a difficult job.
They're,
So
I mean, they're popular characters. So
it's going to be a popular character, but if someone knows you're an assassin and they see you anywhere in a city, they're probably going to know what's up.
well, I mean, you don't have to wear a strange hood every time. You don't have to be super mysterious and dark. The best assassins are like super happy and friendly, and all of a sudden you're dead.
So you're saying the best assassins are going to be the ones who's like, oh, it's that guy.
Never
No
expect.
idea he's never expected him. He just shows up and the king's dead. We have no idea.
The best assassins are good for infiltration, espionage. It's like your best friend for 6 months, and then all of a sudden he goes, "Nothing personal, kid," and then just stabs you and you die.
Oh no.
Okay, we're gonna go now. So thank you everybody for watching. Check back for the questions next week. Or check back
Wait,
for Q&A next month.
wait.
Mip
Mip
has
has a
one more.
question.
Oh, I want to do my closing. Okay, Mip. Well, about that, are you gonna reward guards/players who don't kill but instead just capture assassins? Yeah. I mean, with part of the criminal system is being able to capture them, right? That should be pretty fun.
So what? You just beat them unconscious with clubs?
Yeah, beat them unconscious,
Tie
capture
them up?
them. Um, I want to do a whole capture system where if you get captured, you can like role play as the prisoner, or you go and roll a new character, and like go rescue your previous character. That could also be pretty fun.
Assuming you don't have anyone that you can get to rescue you outside.
Yeah, that's
Because I
true.
feel like a brand new character would be very unequipped to rescue your assassin character who's got caught in the
It's
first place.
true. If you get caught, yeah, you would age out eventually and die. I don't know. That's tricky depending on if we want to do you lose your equipment or not. Ugh, gotta think. Okay, okay. Now let me do the outro. Okay, we are heading out. Check back on us next month. Ask questions. I'll be answering them in Discord and going over them again in voice, discussing them with Kaz. This was a lot of fun. I might stream a bit more in the future. I just haven't been streaming much in the last 8 months, a year. I don't remember when I last actually streamed. But this has been fun. Thank you everybody for chatting. And hope everybody has a good Saturday. So bye bye.